I build plastic models as a hobby in Japan. This video was previously uploaded in Japanese. I've revised it and created an English version. I've added some new information that wasn't in the Japanese version. I will continue to provide the latest information from Japan, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This time, I'll be building Hasegawa's 148 Mitsubishi F-2A 8th AW JASDF 70th Anniversary Special Paint. First, I will explain the Mitsubishi F-2 fighter jet of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. The Mitsubishi F-2 is a fighter jet developed by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries and collaborating companies like Lockheed Martin, based on the F-16. The F-2 closely resembles the F-16 in appearance, but it has been improved and its various components have been enlarged compared to the F-16. Let's begin assembling the F-2, sporting the Japan Air Self-Defense Force's maritime camouflage, known as Samurai Blue.
Let's open the package. Since the aircraft is similar to the F-16, the parts layout is almost the same as the F-16. There are 10 sprues, which is quite a lot. Let's take a look at the instruction manual. You can choose between two design specifications, the 6th Tactical Fighter Squadron and the 8th Tactical Fighter Squadron. Now, let's start the assembly right away. This time, I will be building two kits simultaneously for both versions. I have dry fitted the parts. Since the fuselage halves are split top and bottom, there is no need to worry about a seam line down the middle. No particular issues were found. So I will begin the assembly. First is the assembly of the cockpit. Parts that will be painted the same color will be assembled beforehand and painted together.
The pilot figure has flash, so I will scrape it off with a hobby knife or similar tool. The painting of the pilot and the ejection seat is complete. If the pilot is fixed in place at this stage, fine-tuning the positions of the arms and head won't be possible, so I will assemble the cockpit first before securing the pilot. I will paint the cockpit interior with C317, and I'll paint other parts requiring the same color at the same time. Finished painting C317, and now I will apply the decals for the instrument panel. First, I will line the position using decal setting solution and wait until it dries to some extent and the position is fixed. I'll apply Mark Softer to soften the decal. After a while, I will press it down with a moistened cotton swab. If the cotton swab is not moistened, there is a risk it will stick to the decal, so be sure to moisten it. I have installed the cockpit into the fuselage.
I also glued the pilot's torso and determined the positions of the arms and head. Gluing the pilot's arms and head completes the cockpit assembly. Before assembling the fuselage, I will assemble the intake ducts and wheel wells that go inside the fuselage. The parts for the wheel wells are already assembled, and the next step is painting. The specified color is C316. The inside of the intake doesn't look dirty on the actual aircraft either, so I will paint it C316 as is.
For the wheel wells, I will paint a black base coat to enhance the three-dimensional effect and to express a sooty, weathered look. Now that the black is painted, I will apply C316 over it. I paint it from above so that a little bit of the black remains visible in the recesses. I was able to achieve a three-dimensional effect and a weathered, sooty look.
Now that the internal fuselage parts are ready, I will glue the top and bottom halves of the fuselage together. After mating the top and bottom, I secure them using extra thin cement. I hold it in place with tape and clips until it cures. Next, I will assemble the air intake. By dry fitting, I identified the gaps that would be difficult to paint after assembly and painted them beforehand. Before attaching the intake, I masked the inside of the intake. I attached the rest of the undercarriage parts. Since there are gaps, I will fix them using liquid putty. First, I apply it with a brush. Excess putty is wiped away with a pointed cotton swab. With this method, you can quickly fix gaps. The exhaust nozzle is also attached, completing the main body. Since the fuselage is complete, I will attach the main wings. The wings are attached to the fuselage, and the drop tanks are also complete. The next step is preparation for applying the primer. I will use the canopy as a lid to act as masking for the cockpit. First, there is a parting line on the canopy, so I will remove it. The parting line can be seen on the center and rear canopy sections. Right here. It goes quite deep. Quite deep.
I wonder if I can sand it down properly. Let's just try doing it my usual way for now. Since the parting line is quite raised, I will first scrape it down with a hobby knife. Next, I will sand it using a 3000 grit sanding stick finish. Furthermore, when I polish it with the white finishing side, the scratches are almost invisible. This time, I will polish it with ceramic compound for the final finish. As a result of polishing with the ceramic compound, a highly transparent state can be confirmed. For masking the canopy frames, I obtained a commercially available pre-cut masking tape. Once masking is finished, I temporarily fix it in place using blue tack. I use kneaded eraser to mask the wheel wells.
Before applying the surfacer, I will paint the canopy frames with the cockpit interior color, C317. I spray surfacer over the entire aircraft. Once the surfacer dries, I sand it with a 3000 grit sanding sponge. After sanding, I wipe off the dust with a damp rag. Dust that gets into the panel lines is swept out with a brush. I skipped this part, but I painted the radome and the area in front of the cockpit with C376. The tips of the horizontal stabilizers were also painted with C305 and have been masked.
The radome was also masked, and the small parts in front of the cockpit were masked with liquid masking fluid. Finally, it's time to paint the airframe. First, I will paint the upper surfaces with C375. The painting with C375 is complete.
The next areas to be painted, the underside of the airframe and the camouflage pattern, are the same color, C374. For the camouflage painting, I will make paper masks using the diagrams in the instruction manual as a reference. I enlarge and copy it to the same scale as the model and cut it out to create the masks. This is the state where the masks are temporarily attached. Since the camouflage demarcations on this aircraft have soft edges, I float the masks slightly above the surface and paint with an airbrush. First, I roll out the blue tack into long, thin strips. I attach the blue tack on the inside of the mask, leaving the edges clear. Attaching the mask to the airframe completes the preparation. I have finished applying all the masks. By painting with an airbrush in this state, you can create soft-edged demarcations.
The degree of the soft edge is adjusted by the height at which the mask is floated. Spray perpendicularly to the painting surface. Be careful, as spraying inwards will cause the paint to get underneath, ruining the soft edge effect. The overall painting is complete. The overall soft edge demarcation was a success. However, the narrower parts of the camouflage failed. Let's touch this up freehand with the airbrush. The demarcations have been corrected with the airbrush. Next is the panel line washing process. I flow panel line accent color black into the scribed panel lines.
The application of the panel wash is finished. I use enamel thinner to wipe away the excess wash. The excess wash has been removed. Looking closely, there are places where the wash in the panel lines was completely wiped out, so corrections are needed. Instead of flowing the wash in again, I use a 0.2mm mechanical pencil for the correction. I draw along the panel lines. Furthermore, for the 0.2mm lead hardness, I use the softest B type. Next, I will apply the decals, but since the surface is rough, I will spray a gloss clear coat to prevent silvering. The surface of the gloss clear coat is smooth, which improves decal adhesion and prevents silvering. I have sprayed the gloss clear coat. The surface has become glossy and smooth. Let's apply the decals right away. First, I will apply the largest decal on the horizontal stabilizer.
Once the position of the decal is set, I press it down tightly with a moistened cotton swab. What I will show you next is the method for applying long, thin decals. I use a decal setting solution that does not contain softening agents. Once the position of the tip is decided, I apply it by sliding it into place. If it contains a softening agent, the decal easily deforms, and in the worst case, it will tear. I have finished applying the decals. I applied a gloss clear coat to prevent silvering, but some silvering can still be seen in certain areas. For the areas where silvering is visible, I apply Mark Softer over the top. I apply it generously until the liquid pools. I poke the areas where silvering is visible with the tip of a hobby knife blade to let the liquid seep in.
Pressing it down with a moistened cotton swab completes the process. The main purpose is to make the decal carrier film steps less noticeable, so I perform leveling and polishing. To do this, I sprayed a thick layer of gloss clear coat for the leveling process. The leveling process is complete. This time, I only sanded it with 2000 grit sandpaper. The top coat will be a flat matte clear, so a high gloss isn't necessary. As long as the decal steps disappear, it's fine. Therefore, sanding with 2000 grit is sufficient. Next, I will spray a flat matte clear coat onto the airframe as a top coat. I will be using Gaia Notes EX10. The flat clear coat application is complete. The decal steps are gone, resulting in a very realistic-looking aircraft.
Since the nose radome is semi-gloss, I painted it with a semi-gloss clear coat. All the cockpit interior parts have been installed. I will attach the canopy. The canopy was glued using Semidine high-grade model craft cement. I skipped the process steps, but I have attached the landing gear parts. Finally, attaching the drop tanks completes the build. All the parts have been assembled. It's complete.